Hello and welcome to Eat Your Backyard, my YouTube channel where I talk about all kinds of things which I'm into. And I appreciate you checking in. We are now over 10,000 subscribers. And that's kind of cool. I never imagined when I threw a few videos on the internet many years ago that at some point I would have this many subscribers. And I'm really enjoying the whole experience of just interacting with you guys. So today I'm back in my own backyard, back from California, which by the way is truly an amazing place. But I've neglected my backyard. Well, a little bit. So I have a few tools. I've just been picking weeds relentlessly down on my hands and knees. One thing in California is that the weeds don't really grow that fast, I've noticed. Everything looked like it was in slow motion. The bamboo seemed to be tameable. There weren't any weeds growing. I didn't encounter a single bug. I've already been bit 5 times while I've been talking to you by bugs. So the differences are stark. Everybody I ran into generally had a smile on their face and something pleasant to say. That's my experience, but I was within a mile of the coast my entire trip. I don't know if that makes a difference, but my perspective on California is essentially it's a paradise unsurpassed by many other places. Except for maybe Florida, which we clearly surpass you in football because the Buccaneers are here to dominate every football team. No offense, but it's just the truth. Gerald McCoy. And Jameis Winston. Juan Alexander. Okay, I'll stop. So anyway, we're going to trim up those palm trees today. I got 2 essential tools which everyone should have in their collection, especially if you're in Florida. One is this lopper. Now there's a lot of different types of loppers. I like this one. It's got some kind of mechanical thing going here. You can see it's all rusted. But like everything happens here because I live it's constantly sprayed by salt. And this is the other, it's a pull saw. It's a Corona pull saw. I swear by this one, by brand. I'm not sponsored by Corona, but I still endorse them because it's a good product. I've actually wound up getting lots of stitches and stuff because of these saws, and I still love them, even though they've hurt me. Well, I hurt myself with these saws, but they're the gift that keep on giving. They will saw through on the pull, through any branch. However, they will saw through your hand as if a hot knife through butter, and that's an unpleasant feeling at first, but then you realize that this saw, like all great powers in the universe, just has to be dealt with in a thoughtful way. So anyway, one thing I noticed was this. I don't know if you can see what's going on here. My daughter Julia is the filmer today. She's doing a great job. But we got some things that are happening here. We got about, I'm going to estimate 10 million seeds here. Somewhere between 0 and 10 million. It's in there somewhere. And then we got another 10 million behind it. We got a frond here. Now, you know, I've neglected a little bit, but not too much. We got some greener fronds up top here, which I chose to keep. Now, one thing I do with these fronds that are over the deck, I planted this thing when it was like a tiny little palm tree. You know, maybe this tall on me with the fronds included. And since then it's grown up. Went through many hurricanes. But I trim back the end, so I know that it'll pull up. So I just, when it's in its natural form, so I just kind of pull it down and clip off the ends, and then when I let it go, it's high enough that it's not hitting anybody of reasonable height in the head. Of course, if my man Gerald McCoy was here, he would be, you know, completely annoyed, and I'd have to trim it even higher. But unfortunately, he's not here. So anyway, now this is another essential tool. It's called a chair. Now we're going to get up there. Now whenever you get into this mode, the primary objective is not to wind up in the hospital. And one way you do that is to, and it might seem silly, you know, at one point I thought I was like invincible from all injury, and now I know that I'm not. So I kind of put it on firm ground. Get up in there. Now, as you're up in this tree, let's think about what's maybe also in this tree. First of all, snakes, rats, salamanders, and just generally grody stuff that's trapped inside this. So this is like a bomb. I'm going to kind of lean away as I pull it to see what... Yeah, I don't know if you can see what's in there. But you don't know what you're going to get in there. And this time, not too bad. Sometimes it will like almost explode and shower gross crap all over you. That time it didn't. Here's another one. Oh, look at that. We're getting, you see that? We're getting the avalanche. I'm going to just I've learned this as time goes on. Oh, I see lots of ants up there. Now those ants would like to bite me, and I'm sure they will. Put that in there. Alright, that's pretty good. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, if you can see up in here, look, some little bits. Oh boy. Okay, what you probably can't see, I'll pick up that other piece, is that there's an ant nest in there. Complete with eggs, all things. Let's see if I can pick these up. Let's see if you can go ahead and hand that back. Let's see if you can get a close-up on what's going on in there. You see that? Might be hard to get a focus, but yeah, you see that? They're getting the ants. I hope I can show you before they get my hand. But this is the difference between Florida and California, man. We live in a jungle here. One person I met in California goes, "Why would anybody live there?" And I thought, well, oh, they got me. There's a bunch of reasons why you might not, but there's a bunch of reasons why you do. I like warm water, first of all. Okay. The other reason is, yeah, I'm getting attacked by ants. The other reason is, it's home sweet home, but we live in a jungle here, and I love my Cali. Whoa, oh, I thought I saw something. All right, here we go. This is a classic. It's a full-size prawn. It's absolutely a sign of extreme neglect. There you go. That's a pro shot right there. So when you hear the Corona saw cascading behind your cap, the best thing to do is to not move quickly, because that sucker will bite you. Again, the main ingredient here is solid footing, liver's movement. Okay. Now, there you are. This is another something which will get you if you're not careful. Just gonna have to be a little careful. Another thing is, if you see up in here, nice little black widow spider nest, nice little brown recluse spider nest. Get right up in that area. It's incredibly rigid, this part of the palm front. You see this? Hear that? It's like a hard wood. So, watch this. Man. Okay, seed pod time. Now, when we got the seed pods, got to get the loppers out. That's why we have these. Now, once it hits the ground, it's probably going to explode some seed pods, but it's a lot less than if I let those seeds just shower down over time. That's why we're getting them now, and that's why I recommend you do the same. Now, if you're a pro, you can cut it and catch it. You can tell I'm not in the right place for that. Oh, give it a try. You ready? Now, here's the other thing. When you trim it, make sure you trim it close. Nobody wants a nub, right? We don't want to be the dirty nub trimmers. We want to, you trim it out here and you got this thing sticking out. You really want to get it close to the palm tree. Because why? Because it accents the whole shape of this palm tree, which is pretty cool. All right, so see how that grips right in there? What I'm going to do is kind of give it a little bit of a go, and when I pop it, I'm going to take this and pop it in. I'm going to try to catch it, and that's what I'm talking about. If there's a lot of palm trees ready to be born. In our case, they're ready to go to the elsewhere. Alright. See this? See this right here? This is when two worlds collide, when two plants collide. You got the beautiful Dracaena. I've trimmed this thing 100 times. By the way, subscribers, I've heard all the trolls tell me that you can't trim it so much. You can't trim that so much. It's going to kill it. You actually can. Here you can. Maybe not in other places where it's not bright. But this thing's growing down into it, not a very good look. Probably going to bang up into that roof when it gets windy. Just like that. Get rid of it. Ah, here's another one. Yeah. Trim that out too. That was easy enough. Oh, and this is a major foul ball, where it grows up into the house. You can't allow that to happen. Okay. So I did a little bit of war with it, and there's some great Areca palm fronds to. They actually, the thing is, they don't actually take off a lot of space in the yard waste bin. And this one, you know, Gerald's not here yet, but I'm still going to trim it. Yeah. In case he does show up. All right, prior to winning the Super Bowl this year. That one just came right off. All right, we're getting sweaty now. I've got this mango tree behind this palm tree, which has been a consistent kind of irritant in terms of I don't want the mango tree to be affected by the palm tree, but then I don't want the palm tree to be trimmed so much that it can't grow healthy. So you just kind of find the balance. All right, now behind here, there's another one, another seed pod. I'm going to go ahead and use the same technique. Oh, that was too easy. Got caught by the button. There's another. Whoa! This thing weighs about 50 pounds. It's super heavy. I'm glad those wind up on the ground. Oh, that must be nicer to listen to on the videos. Okay. Because I'm dealing with this thing, which if I pull it real hard, you know, I've learned it will pull right into you. Yeah. Looking for bugs. I got stung right here once years ago by a saddleback caterpillar, and I don't know how many of you have been stung by a saddleback caterpillar, but it is astoundingly painful. It radiates through your arm, your heart palpitates, you feel like, you know, do I need to go to the hospital? And, you know, maybe you do. I was all right, but on that palm tree, saddleback caterpillar nailed me. So I know the consequence of being too rapid. Okay, here's the balm. This is the classic balm. There's a dried kind of cut palm that I cut there. Nice and slow. No need to get crazy. You build up potential energy in these things. There you go. Yeah, see, that's an old palm seed thing that I did not get before it got crazy. Now all the palm seeds are down in there. But this thing right here, that was the real danger. Oh, yeah. The old twist method, see it? Just twist it around. Works every time. This is ant on the nose syndrome with an egg in its mouth. All right. In you go. Oh, there are lots of ants up there. All right, so as I look around, you know, generally, I'm gonna go to the Corona because I haven't utilized the Corona. Watch how easily. Got that? Now look how I go close. I want to keep it close to the contour. That's why I love the Corona. Alright, that's good enough. I'm not trying to go crazy. Just want to get enough that it looks decent. Got another seed pod that fell there. And this is the bane of my existence. This is a philosophical irritant. This is a thing which just grows and you constantly have to tend, like so many things in your life that you have to pay attention to that you would rather not. That's one of them. It's just weeds. I pick probably, I don't know, 50 of these a week when I'm here. And you're always glad you did it, but it's kind of annoying. Alright, so that's fine. That looks great. I think that's done. Alright, the next thing is these little Robellinis. By the way, I saw a lot of great Robellinis in California. Now, if you look at these, you've got a few things happening here. First of all, you got these caloric ends. These are the fronds that are about ready to die. Now, if your whole plant looked like this, you're in trouble. Give it some fish waste. Give it something nitrogen rich. I would recommend fish emulsion or some dead junk fish that you have around your area. Unless you have no fish near your area, in which case you probably have to go buy lawn fertilizer. But in my case, look at this. It's green. It looks really lush. Now, it hasn't always been green. If you can look down here, it's not always been the days of wine and roses. In fact, that's interesting. There's a fungus, a mushroom growing down in here. Both of these, it was 3 palms. Both of them have gotten some kind of palm disease. Now, you can choose to tend the palm disease, and you can choose to treat it. You know, I don't. I just saw it down. When its time has come, like this one and this one, I saw it even with the ground as close as I can. I throw it in the same yard waste container that I'm throwing all this waste in now, and I move on. Oh, yeah. More of the weeds. Okay, so watch. I'm going to try to do a speed round here. Here we go. One thing about the Robellini, maybe a little bit difficult to see. I'll try to put it against my shirt. Are these? It is so sharp. If you're not careful, you're going to get it. It's not horrible, but it's definitely there. So you just want to be careful as you're trimming these, and realize that if you're going to buy one, again, close to the stalk. But if you're going to buy one, you're buying into a needle maker. Now this one is, this is the yellow one. So that one's on its way out. No need to delay the inevitable. Just terminate it right there. Okay, good. That one looks good. Let's get in here. Now on these we got some clear droopers, what I call droopers. I'll get those. Yeah, some of them won't come down. Got to go in real slow if you don't want to be impaled by it. This is a low one. See, again, kind of yellow on the end. No need to delay it. You're done. Yeah. Now you see what's happening on my head here? Got a few things happening. Now we want people to walk through here. And if they walk through and they're going to hit on their way out, I don't want that. So just go in. And I go in kind of carefully, so I just get what I want to trim. This one. You see, this one's hanging up high, but I know if I pull it down and trim it up a little higher, it's going to retract up and be just fine. This is a technique I've developed over the years. A lot of people know. I'm sure you just kind of brace it on your body, put it where you want it, and pull it off. And when I trim it like that, I pull it down, trim it, it just springs right back up. Alright, not a good situation. Now you could trim it, you know, here, but in this case, I would just trim the whole thing. This one no good. Now in places where these palms struggle to grow, it might make sense to go a little less vigorous in the trimming. Here, you're doing everything you can to not make it an absolute never-ending disaster. And this stuff. I'm going to trim that off because, you know, I'd like to be able to walk around it without being hit in the head by a palm frond. This is a seed pod here. Going nice and careful. That is right in the thorns. But check out the difference. This is a Robellini seed pod. Look at that. I don't know, you could probably count that on 2 hands, maybe 10 seeds. All of them will grow quite well, but very few seeds. Now compare that to the Cocos Palm, which was just loaded. Incredible amount of seeds. I'm not planting those either. I get enough Bellini in my life to last me for a while. Oh boy, now we can really enjoy this palm. Now I always do like a, let's look. Is it clear? Yeah, technically it is. What does it hurt to go one more, right? It's out of the way. Now, everybody who wants to walk through and enjoy the backyard can clearly do it. All right, so palm maintenance. If you live in a place like Florida, it's pretty much nonstop. And the good news is you're living in a place where you're shaded by palm trees. The bad news is you got to work, but that's pretty much not bad news. That's just like what happens for everybody. You have to work. So, hey, I'm a little sweaty. Probably need a shower after this, but I just want to thank my daughter Julia for videotaping this, doing such a great job. And I appreciate you guys too, watching Eat Your Backyard. Again, it's super fun for me, and I've got some new ideas that I'm going to be sharing with you, and I'd be interested to know. Now, the people who are watching this ridiculous video at this point are basically the true believers. This is the army of the willing. I've got some interesting ideas that I want to share with you. I bought a blue ice mic, and I have some garden philosophy, not philosophy relating to the garden, but philosophies that I'm going to tell you about in my garden. And I thought you might be interested in them. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching Eat Your Backyard. If you're a new subscriber and you're just transfixed by my expert level knowledge of things which I basically just learned by pretending, you know. Well, then go ahead and subscribe. You know why? Because you'll be notified when new videos come out, and we'll get to know each other in a really abstract and unpersonal way. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. I really appreciate all you guys. It's a lot of fun for me. And thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard.